Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Live at 4 on this Tuesday afternoon.
It's Election Day.
It is Election Day, the day after April Fools, and Mother Nature had her own little fool for north of here. It snowed this morning.
It snowed north of here. It rained here in the Madison area for a little bit, but it's now the sun is trying to break out.
No excuse not to go out and vote,
Yeah.
because that's what's top in our news today. Voters head to the polls for the spring election with one statewide contest in the balance. We have team coverage on what's at stake.
The investigation widens over the Trump administration's handling of top security clearances at the White House.
And the dangers of using your smartphone when you're behind the wheel. April is Distracted Drivers Month.
Let's take a look outside today and see if that sun is peeking out yet. This is what it looked like most of the day.
Yeah, it's kind of gray. It's early April, but it's starting to feel like spring. That is the good news. Dana's in the backyard patio with a warm, the sun's out now.
Yeah, the sun's out now. We have a mostly clear sky out here on the patio right now, and no complaints, really. That rain chance, of course, that slid through this afternoon, or if you were up to the north a little bit, may have saw some snow. That's now really moving east and out of here. Sky steadily clearing. And we may see another chance for some sprinkles tonight, later on this evening and just before midnight. But overall, for the next few hours, do plan on enjoying a little bit of sunshine before sunset. Right now, it is 44 degrees in Madison. Our breeze coming from the southwest at about 10 miles per hour. So it does feel like we're in the upper 30s right now. But 44 in Madison, 45 in Janesville, and 50 in Mineral Point. Our temps have hopped up just a little bit with the sun coming out in the last few hours. We've climbed a little more. It was a little breezy outside today. The strongest wind gusts at the western edge of the state. We will see a little wind for us again this evening, but we are expecting our breeze to die down a little more as we head into tomorrow morning. That breeze coming from the west right now at 17 miles per hour in Mineral Point, at 13 miles per hour in Janesville. Over the next few hours, we will again see a few clouds and that slight chance for a sprinkle coming up later on, but temps, at least as you're heading home, and if you do have any plans for dinner, almost can have the grill out right now. 51 degrees around 6 o'clock, and then temperatures will steadily fall for us through the evening. Right now, we're going to take a look at what's going on the roads. Good news looking at East Washington and 2nd Street. Things seem to be going smoothly downtown. Overall, much of Dane County green currently, which is good news for my map. On the Beltline, we're not seeing any major delays and no accidents to report. And down towards Janesville, we're not seeing any major delays either. 39 and 90 all the way through Beloit should be a pretty smooth drive for you this evening. 6 minutes northbound from Verona to the Beltline, westbound Oregon to the Beltline, just 8 minutes, and then from Springfield to University Avenue, about a 4-minute drive. 27 minutes from Janesville to the Beltline. Sauk City to Middleton will be just about 17 minutes, and this drive time from Sun Prairie to downtown, just about 16 minutes, right where it should be. You'll need the shades for your drive home this evening because the sun is out for us right now, and it should be a pretty quiet few hours, just a little breezy.
Hopefully the traffic will stay quiet as well.
Yeah.
All right, Dana, thank you. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Thank you, Dana. First at 4, it is Election Day in Wisconsin, and there are a number of races encouraging voters to head to the polls.
There's a state Supreme Court race, mayoral elections in Madison and Fitchburg, and some school referendums with big ticket prices. Amy Reed joins us live from Patrick Marsh Middle School in Sun Prairie to tell us about how many people have come through so far. Amy.
The city clerk here is pretty excited about the numbers so far. As of 2:30 this afternoon, they're seeing about a 28% turnout at their 4 polling locations here. Our latest numbers from Madison are from 11 this morning. More should be coming out in the next few minutes. They're reporting about a 14% turnout. We should expect those numbers to go up with the after work and after dinner crowds. So far, there haven't been any issues at any polling locations, and the city clerk, Elena Hilby, expects that to continue as numbers grow tonight.
I was guessing around 40%, so I'm thinking we might actually go a little past that. But in Dane County, we were prepared for a 70% turnout, so we will definitely not run out of ballots.
In Sun Prairie, Hilby expects good turnout because of the referendums. The city is trying to build another high school, and they're asking for $164 million to do so. They also have a complimentary operational referendum for $5 million, which would go to the new high school and increasing teacher salaries at the current schools. We'll continue to bring you updates on polling numbers and how that referendum goes later on tonight as you guys head to the polls.
All right, thank you so much, Amy.
And Madison voters have a big decision to make today in the race for mayor.
The pool of candidates dwindled from 6 to 2, with Satya Rhodes Conway and current Mayor Paul Soglin advancing past the primary. Our Keely Arthur is live on the city's east side with a closer look at both candidates. Keely?
Well, whoever wins tonight, the results will be historic. If it goes to Soglin, he would only solidify his spot as Madison's longest-serving mayor. Rhodes Conway would be the first openly gay person elected to lead the city. While both have run on similar issues like affordable housing and bus rapid transit, make no mistake, these two are very different. Soglin has the experience. He's been mayor for 22 years collectively over the past 5 decades. He says under his leadership, the city has created more housing and is consistently named one of the best places to live in the country. But he's been criticized for not always playing nice with city council. That's something Rhodes Conway has tried to play up. She says she has more of a collaborative leadership style. She formerly served as an alder for the city and is now the director of the Mayor's Innovation Project, a UW think tank that works with mayors across the country to improve policy. Now, while Soglin has the name recognition, this is by no means a runaway race. Soglin only beat Rhodes Conway by about 300 votes in the primary. Collectively, they took 55% of that vote. 45% went to the other 4 challengers. It will be really interesting to see where those votes go tonight. We will be here at the Brink Lounge where Soglin will be later in the evening. Our Amanda Quintana will be over on Willie Street with Rhodes Conway. Back to you.
It should be an interesting race indeed. Keely, thank you.
Thank you, Keely. On the ballot statewide today is the race for Wisconsin Supreme Court.
This person will replace the seat being vacated by Justice Shirley Abramson. Our chief political reporter, Jessica Arp, joins us live from Racine, where one of the 2 candidates in this race will be this evening. Jessica.
But yeah, that's right. While this race is officially nonpartisan, political overtones have shaded much of this campaign, and court observers know that this seat is key to the balance of the power in court in the future. The race features appeals court chief judge Lisa Neubauer, who voted in Racine this morning. She'll be here with her supporters tonight. Neubauer has been on the Court of Appeals after being appointed by Governor Jim Doyle in 2008. She and her family have had a history of being connected to Democratic causes. She's been heavily supported in ads by liberal causes, and she has made a point of saying that she has the backing of more than 300 judges across the state. Judge Brian Hagedorn voted in Waukesha this morning. He's on the same Court of Appeals as Neubauer after being appointed there by Governor Scott Walker in 2015. Prior to that, he was Walker's chief legal counsel in the governor's office. He's been endorsed by the more conservative members of the Wisconsin Supreme Court and was supported in this last week before the election by the Republican State Leadership Committee's Judicial Fairness Initiative. Now, all of those partisan connections aside, both of these candidates have tried to make the case throughout this campaign that their political views would not affect their decisions on the court. And remember, Supreme Court justices look at cases and review cases that come up from lower courts. Of course, this seat is very important to the future, as we said, the balance of power in the court as well. If Neubauer would be to win tonight, conservatives would maintain still a bit of a majority on the court with a 4-3 majority. That would give liberals, though, a chance to flip the balance of power on the court in the 2020 election. A win by Hagedorn would instead expand that conservative majority. So tonight, many believe is seen as a key to the court's future in the next few years.
We'll be watching. Jessica Arp reporting live from Racine. We'll see you later on this evening.
Thank you, Jess. It is also Election Day today in Chicago, and voters there will choose a new mayor who, no matter who wins the race for Chicago mayor, the victor will make history tonight. Either Lori Lightfoot or Toni Preckwinkle will become Chicago's first black woman mayor. Lightfoot also would be the first openly gay mayor in Chicago. Current Mayor Rahm Emanuel decided not to run for re-election.
In other news this Tuesday, a car crashed into the Beaver Dam River overnight, killing 1 man and sending officers on a frantic search for a missing 2-year-old. Beaver Dam first responders arrived on the scene at 2 in the morning to find an SUV overturned in 3 feet of cold water. They rescued 2 men, one who went into cardiac arrest and died. Responders were told there was also a 2-year-old in the car. After a 4-hour search for the child who was feared swept downstream, he was found with relatives.
Los Angeles police have identified a suspect in the murder of rap star Nipsey Hussle. Police say 29-year-old Eric Holder is the man who murdered the Grammy-nominated rapper and wounded 2 other men Sunday afternoon in front of Hussle's South LA clothing store. According to investigators, Holder and Hussle had a verbal confrontation the day of the shooting. The LAPD says Holder left but returned later with a gun and fired multiple shots before running to a waiting vehicle.
Mr. Holder who I am confident is watching this, I ask him to surrender. We believe this to be a dispute between Mr. Hussle and Mr. Holder.
Chief Moore says Holder is a member of a gang, but police believe the dispute was not gang-related. A vigil for Hussle outside his business erupted into chaos last night. Police say a fight broke out in the crowd when a man showed a gun. That led to a stampede that left at least 19 people injured. Police are urging people who are paying respects to come in peace. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says closing the U.S. border, as President Trump has threatened, would have a, quote, potentially catastrophic economic impact on our country. The Kentucky Republican told reporters he hopes the president won't take that action. Trump last week said he'd seal the border in the coming days if Mexico did not immediately halt all illegal immigration into the United States. Today, the president said he'll take a wait-and-see approach.
It's the only way we're getting a response, and I'm totally ready to do it. And I will say this, many people want me to do it because we're being abused by a bad legal system that was put in by Democrats and that has to be changed.
The House Oversight Committee has taken a major step as it investigates what some members say are red flags in the security clearance application process for top-level White House officials. Mola Lenghi reports from the White House.
22 yes, 15 no.
The House Oversight Committee voted along party lines to issue a subpoena to force Kline, the former director of the White House Personnel Security Office, to testify in detail about how the Trump administration handled security clearance requests.
Serious questions have arisen as to their criminal records, financial problems, drug use, conflicts of interest, and foreign influence, improper foreign influence.
Democrats want Kline to explain the application process and how President Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, and others received top-level security clearances despite reported irregularities.
The White House needs to understand that they cannot stonewall and stall this committee for months.
The investigation heated up after Tricia Newbold, a veteran security advisor at the White House, told lawmakers that clearances were denied for 25 officials, but later overturned. Republicans say the allegations by Newbold were overblown and cherry-picked.
You issue a big memo and a big press release after interviewing one witness. That's how we're going to do investigations in the Oversight Committee?
White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders says Democrats are putting 3 million people with security clearances at risk.
But what the Democrats are doing is playing a very dangerous and a shameful game, frankly.
President Trump has denied any involvement in granting Kushner's security clearance. Mola Lenghi, CBS News, the White House.
And Kline has agreed to testify, but his lawyer says he will not talk about specifics regarding the security clearance process.
April is National Distracted Driver Awareness Month. AAA has started a new campaign to raise awareness about drivers who use their smartphones behind the wheel. 2 years ago, Didi Gonzalez was hit head-on by a driver who was texting. She spent months in a wheelchair and then learning how to walk again. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says 9 people are killed every day as a result of distracted driving, and many of the distractions come from smartphones. This month, AAA has rolled out a public service campaign to get drivers' eyes back on the road.
People who would never get behind the wheel after drinking alcohol, yet don't think twice about getting behind the wheel and using that smartphone to text or email somebody.
There's nothing on your phone while you're driving that is more important than my life or someone else's life. There's just not.
A recent survey finds 97% of drivers say texting or emailing behind the wheel is a serious threat. But among those drivers, 45% admit to reading a text or email behind the wheel within the last month, and 35% admit to sending a text or email. Huge problem.
I was behind somebody. They're going about 15 miles an hour. I get up to them, 2 hands on the phone.
What'd you do?
I honked the horn.
Good.
I assume they're steering with their knees.
I know, it's scary.
It is
Serious
scary,
problem.
yeah. Don't do it, folks. Come on. Well, still to come at 4, today marks a milestone for the year, but it's not a good one.
Today is Equal Pay Day. It highlights the pay-gender gap. We'll tell you all about it when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
Today is Equal Pay Day, a date that marks how far into the year women must work to earn as much as men did the year before.
Natalie Brand takes a closer look at the gender pay gap from Capitol Hill, where Democrats used a little star power to mark the occasion.
Democratic Congresswomen gathered to raise awareness about the gender pay gap on Equal Pay Day.
I hope we never have to recognize this day again, because we will have finally achieved pay equity.
Lending them her star power was actress Michelle Williams.
When a person or a group of people acknowledge your worth, you seek to meet that worth.
Studies show the pay gap has narrowed, but women on average still make around 80 cents to every dollar men earn. The gap is even larger for women of color.
We need to strengthen our equal pay laws. Pay discrimination is hard to challenge because it's hard to know that you're being paid less than the man across the hall.
The Democratic-controlled House, with now a record number of female members serving, last week passed the Paycheck Fairness Act. The bill aims to increase transparency in the workplace around pay and would also prevent employers from using salary history to determine future pay.
She and I think, make the exact same salary.
Erin Haney says negotiation is key to closing the gap.
Just asking for what you want and being clear about what your own value is and what your contributions are and demanding that those be recognized.
Experts say labor movements, such as the push to increase the minimum wage, also help.
Women typically work in lower paid jobs than men. When we increase the minimum wage, women disproportionately benefit.
This year's Equal Pay Day falls 8 days earlier than last year's, with the goal of moving it up even more next year.
On Capitol Hill, Natalie Brand for News 3 Now.
Equal Pay Day was started in 1996 to bring awareness about this issue. Members of Congress say they hope that public pressure will push the Senate to take up the Paycheck Fairness Act.
Amazon and Whole Foods are cutting prices tomorrow with an emphasis on high-quality produce. About 500 products, including greens, tomatoes, and fruits, will be discounted. Customers will save an average of 20%. The Amazon-owned grocery chain increased prices in February. The company issued a statement saying, "We will continue to focus on both lowering prices and bringing customers the quality they trust." Wall Street treaded water today after yesterday's big rally. The Dow Industrials lost 79 points, ending the day at 26,179. The NASDAQ Composite Index added 19, and the S&P 500 was up fractionally.
Water is gushing down the rebuilt spillway of the nation's tallest dam. It is the first time since the dam north of Sacramento, California, crumbled 2 years ago and threatened to flood California communities. It comes as spring storms are expected to swell the lake behind Oroville Dam this week. In 2017, the dam's half-century-old spillway broke apart as it carried heavy flows from storms, and that drove nearly 200,000 people from their homes over fears of catastrophic flooding.
That is spectacular video.
Look at the power of that.
The size of that thing. Well, the big day right around the corner in England.
Harry and Meghan's baby is about due, and a lot of people are hoping to cash in on that.
What will Prince Harry and Meghan's new baby wear in just weeks? I'm Ian Lee in London with the luxurious options.
Take a look at this. It's Toyota's 6-foot, 10-inch tall basketball playing robot. His name is Q3, and it managed 5 out of 8 3-point shots in a demonstration in a Tokyo suburb. This is disturbing. The robot computes as a 3-dimensional image where the basket is, using sensors on its torso, and adjusts motors inside its arm and knees to give the shot the correct angle. Q3 did manage to win a 3-point shooting contest against 2 professional players. Boom.
Oh, wow.
Nothing but net. But there's no fear of losing a game to the robot just yet. He doesn't quite have the moves.
Yeah, but just wait.
He's getting there. I want to see a time lapse of all the trial errors of him just like chucking the basketball to the left, to the right.
That's pretty impressive, though.
That is very impressive.
Cool.
Yeah.
Better than my average.
He missed that one, yeah. All right. So.
The sun came out.
The sun finally came out after a cloudy start to the day. We got a little bit of sunshine, and it really helped our temperatures hop up in the last few hours. I know a few folks waking up to some snow this morning.
Boom.
We are going to talk about the potential to see a little more rain, maybe a few more snowflakes right after the break. So I know that a few areas north of Madison, even in Madison, we did see a few snowflakes. This is a look right now in Charlotte, North Carolina, where we have some snowflakes and a guy mowing his yard. That is springtime in one picture for us. Snow and lawn mowing all together. That's just what happens, of course, when we work. We get into the April month, also into early May. I'm not going to talk about a car today. If we can get the weather graphic up, that would be fantastic. We are looking at the chance, of course, to see some more rain and a few snowflakes over the next few days. The thing is, though, the fact that we're still seeing snow in April is pretty normal. In fact, I looked back through 1951, and we have picked up snow every single April since then at the Madison airport. Now, 14 of those years were just trace amounts, but still measurable snowfall. We average just over 2.25, 2.3 inches of snowfall in April. The most was in in 1973, 17.4 inches of snowfall for us in April in Madison. So it just happens, of course, that time of year when our afternoon highs get above freezing, but overnight we see our temperatures fall below freezing. So if you get the right amount of moisture to come through overnight, you can see real significant amounts of snow. Today we hit a high of 45 degrees, which is just a little below average. We may see our temperatures, our official high climb actually a degree or two more in the next few hours, because now we finally have some sunshine, and now our temperatures are going to be just a little warmer outside. Our low early this morning at 35. Right now our Doppler track is a little quiet. We may see a few more sprinkles for us tonight, but mainly just focusing on that chance for some rainfall to come through as we head into Wednesday night. That'll be our next significant rain, but this is that rain chance that'll be sneaking through before midnight. We may see just a few more showers. Heading into your Wednesday morning, plan on some sunshine, and then later on in the day on Wednesday, clouds develop, showers come along with it, and we are expecting scattered showers on Thursday with the potential for some mix north of Madison. Overall, over the next few hours, we will get that sun, but again, later this evening and before midnight, there is the chance for some sprinkles. Otherwise, we have a mostly clear sky by tomorrow morning. Temperatures will fall just below freezing, and then by tomorrow afternoon, plan on our highs in the middle 50s, clouds building in the evening, and then our rain chances really starting to push in overnight and into Thursday morning. Most of the rain is going to stay south. We're going to see our accumulation totals in a pretty tight gradient, anywhere from 1/10 to 1/4 of an inch around Madison, with higher amounts along the state line. And again, that rain is going to stay with us throughout most of the day on Thursday before dwindling off late. As we head into Friday, we will get some sunshine in the forecast. Overnight low of 31. Our skies will steadily become mostly clear. Now, right now we've got some sunshine for us, but we do have that chance for a few clouds and some showers to build in just before midnight. It's going to be a little colder by early in the morning, but only a few degrees colder. Our breeze coming from the west at about 6 to 12 miles per hour. Tomorrow, our breeze about 8 to 15 miles per hour. Still coming from the west, though. Temperature-wise, will be just a little bit above average at about 55. Sunshine in the morning, and then clouds building in later in the day for your Wednesday, and the rain chances building in as well later on overnight and heading into Thursday morning. Really not expecting any of that rain for the day for us. Temperatures on Thursday will be a little cooler with the cloud coverage. We're expecting to be in the upper 40s. Friday, we hop back up to the upper 50s, and right now the weekend really isn't looking too bad. In the mid 60s on Saturday and upper 60s on Sunday. That is going to come along with our next system, though, that will be bringing in some rain for Sunday and Monday. But Saturday, if we can get to that, that would be wonderful. But again, the chance here, of course, by Wednesday night and Thursday to see a little rain and snow, not an anomaly. It is April. So to see a little bit of snowfall come through, it just happens.
Well, and that was interesting that we've had snow every April since 1950 or whatever. What
1951,
year did you? 1951.
Yeah. So that's at the airport, of course. There are a few records going further than that. I just had the chance to only look back through 1951.
Yeah. Cut the lawn in the snow too.
Yes,
like
that was a great picture.
Yes.
Dana, thank you.
Thanks, Dana. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle are just weeks away from the birth of their first child.
And there is no shortage of luxury brands looking to dress Britain's newest royal baby. Ian Lee has the story from London.
The outfits at high-end stores are hung with care, hoping royalty will choose them to wear.
This dress is $1,700. This one is $1,320. Completely handmade.
With Prince Harry and Meghan's baby fever picking up, luxury brands know all eyes will be on the little one's new royal threads.
Baby Sussex is going to have a huge influence. Meghan has already had this huge influence.
Traditionally, the royals dress less showy, more sensibly. But Meghan is a style icon, and the new baby is expected to set trends too. Prince Harry and Meghan live here at Kensington Palace in London, but the new baby will get some fresh country air when they make the move to Windsor. The baby could get there in a Land Rover or Land Rover stroller by eye candy worth roughly $2,000, or maybe this $6,000 electric car.
It is completely customized, leather steering wheel, leather seats.
Many items are out of reach for simple commoners, like a $112,000 diamond and gold pacifier, or this Swarovski crystal-encrusted rocking horse.
When it comes to their children, they're prepared to pay anything that is, they deem to be necessary.
Necessary could include a $1,300 baby Gucci tracksuit, or how about an 18-karat gold-plated crib that'll set you back a cool $70,000.
This is very regal.
If it has a royal stamp of approval, gold quickly turns to green for designers, as most items sell out quickly. Ian Lee, CBS News, London.
Well, that is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, Matthew had a diamond-encrusted rocking horse, too. No,
and a diamond pacifier.
Crazy.
Well, many people are also wondering what gender the baby will be.
Now, the royal couple has not said anything about it, but there are all kinds of rumors in England that they think it's going to be a boy.
We should find out
we'll see.
in a couple of weeks. When's the due date?
I'm not sure.
Soon, though.
Soon, though, yeah.
All right. Well, dim headlights can be dangerous, and if your car isn't new, you might have realized your headlights aren't in tip-top shape.
Consumer Reports has maintenance suggestions for safe headlights. We'll have those when Live at 4 continues.
Here's a live look downtown Madison. Sun finally out. It's always nice. Well, you might not think much about your car's headlights until they burn out or they appear less bright as your car gets older.
But as Consumer Reports explains, headlights are an important safety feature that need maintenance, just like the rest of your car. Here's Josh Spreiter.
Of all the tests that Consumer Reports performs at its auto test track in Connecticut, this one might be the most unusual. CR tests the headlights, analyzing things like brightness indoors and how well they light the road ahead on moonless nights.
We're looking for things like how far do the low beams and high beams give you visibility straight ahead? Are they bright enough? Is the pattern uniform or streaky? And will they cause glare to an oncoming driver or someone that you're following?
But if your car isn't new, you might have realized your headlights aren't in tip-top shape. Sun and the UV exposure can cause the plastic coating to become clouded or yellowed, giving off far less light than they had once you first bought the car.
You may find cars are more susceptible to this clouding if you're in an area where there's a lot of sun, a hot state.
Check out the headlights on this used car. So, what can you do?
You have kind of two choices. You can replace the headlight.
But it can be expensive. It would cost over $200 per headlight for this car.
You want a more temporary fix. You can use these headlight restoration kits. Using different levels of abrasive, clear that clouding off of the lens.
CR applied a restoration kit on one side of this car. It only took about 15 minutes and the results were illuminating. The restoration kit restores brightness for about a year, but most kits are less than $25. And CR says all that light will make you a whole lot safer on the road. For News 3 Now, I'm Josh Sprider.
Now, before using any restoration kit, it's a good idea to watch the manufacturer's instructional videos that are available online.
Now, if the lenses are clear, but the lights appear to be dimmer than they used to be, CR says you may just need to replace the bulbs. All bulbs dim over time and should be replaced after a few years.
And you have like a homespun secret?
Well, Harvey Briggs suggested using toothpaste.
Oh, really?
But that doesn't last as long either. So
give it a try.
He liked the restoration kits too.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Still to come at 4, spring is here. Time for some spring cleaning.
And not just your house. UW psychologist Shyla Murgain is here. She'll show us how to spring clean our minds. Get a little peace and serenity.
There you go.
Looking forward to that. That's when Live at 4 continues.
No accidents to report, just a few slowdowns along the Beltline. This is a look at the Beltline right at Rimrock Road, and things seem to be okay both east and westbound. Again, just a few delays, a few spots where people are pumping the brakes a little bit, but no major stops. And it seems to be both east and westbound, actually, right after Park Street. Down around Janesville, we have a few brake lights downtown. 14 gets a little closer to 39 also, but overall 39 and 90 look okay right now. From Verona to the Beltline will take you about 6 minutes, 7 minutes westbound Oregon to the Beltline. And then from Springfield to University Avenue, be just about a 4-minute drive. If you are heading northbound from Janesville to the Beltline, just about 26 minutes, right where we should see it at. 17 minutes from Sauk City to Middleton, and then southbound Sun Prairie to downtown. We've added a few minutes onto that drive at about 18 minutes. As more folks get on the road, of course, that drive time gets just a little longer, but overall things look okay. That's a quick look at traffic.
All right, Dana, thank you. Well, you could say that Woody Belfont from Canada has some pretty good upper body strength. Wow. Not only is he able to lift himself over the bar, he can also flip over it. Look at that. He also secures himself with bars on the floor and shows off his core and arm strength by lifting his legs and wheelchair over his head. Woody's also the captain for the wheelchair basketball team competing in the upcoming 2019 Canada Games.
Amazing and inspiring, isn't it?
It really is.
That's incredible. Good for him.
Well, spring is a natural time of the year to declutter your life.
Letting go of the stuff that no longer serves us is a liberating act, and spring is a good time to take stock of our emotional, mental, and physical well-being as well. UW Health distinguished psychologist Shyla Murgain is back with us. Hi, Shyla.
Happy spring.
Happy spring.
Happy spring. I brought you some daffodils.
That's
my
just
favorite.
to celebrate. No more snow, sun is out.
Nothing spring like daffodils, that's for sure. So we're talking about decluttering your life, your home and your mental life.
Yeah, it's such a great time of year to, one, go through all your possessions, your house, clean out the garage, go through your closets, get rid of things either you don't love anymore or you just haven't used in the last year.
It really does feel good when you do that.
There was a study at UCLA that had a lot of clutter and had women especially look at the clutter, and they found that there were stress chemicals were elevated, those stress hormones. And so if we have a lot of clutter, it produces anxiety. Instead, make a little bit of space. It'll allow some calm and serenity in your home.
That's a good idea. You also talk about uprooting negative thoughts, and this is something that I am always working on, like stopping that record that's playing in your head.
Yeah, very much so. I brought a tool here, a dandelion digger, and I think our thoughts are kind of like dandelions. You mow over the dandelion and it pops back up. You mow over your negative thought and it pops back up. Instead, we need to dig to get down in there into those core beliefs, to uproot those thoughts. One of the ways to do that when you're thinking negative thinking is to ask yourself, if this were true, what does it mean about myself, about my life, about the situation? And often there are two patterns. One, we might get into beliefs about not being enough. Or second, we might get into a core belief of life isn't going my way or life isn't going to work out, some catastrophizing that could be a core belief. So if we can shift those thoughts into things that are more balanced, more helpful, promote peace of mind, the best thing we can do is really manage our thinking. It really allows us to flourish.
That's a great analogy.
Yeah,
so I'll think of that now.
And spring's also a time of growth.
It is, and when we're spring cleaning our life, it's good to look at the activities we're doing. Are we doing things because we should, or we just have done them because we've always done them? And create some spaciousness, be a little less busy. And kind of like a bulb here, we can plant seeds in our life. Maybe we want to recommit to exercise. Maybe we want to try a new hobby. Maybe we want to spend time with people that really bring us that sense of joy. Or maybe we just want to plan a trip or some quality time just being on our own in nature. So it's a great time to clear things both in our physical environment, our mind, our schedule. So in that space we can bring a bit of a spring back into our step and really flourish in these warmer months ahead.
It makes so much sense and it seems so easy in theory, but when your life is kind of all crushing down on you, it feels so daunting. You know what I mean? It's hard to kind of step back and employ some of those strategies you were just talking about.
I encourage to start small, maybe take half a day. you know, to do it. Maybe on a weekend, carve out half a day to look at your day planner, clear some space, maybe in the upcoming weeks, go through a closet or two, or even just commit to one new thing you're going to try in the next month.
That's a good idea.
But it's, you know, it's rebirth, and you can see people that are happy, and if you're not, it can make, you know, how do you get out of that rut?
Yeah, it is rebirth and renewal. And so I would say be around maybe some of those people. That positivity is contagious. And so maybe you can just call up a friend you feel like is doing well and spend a bit of time seeing what he or she is doing. And I always say fake it till you make it. So maybe imitate them until you start, you know, getting into that routine. We're such creatures of habit that it takes time to shift direction. But again, surrounding yourself with that support team of people who are positive, encouraging, really can give you that inner fuel you need.
Actual people, not Facebook people.
Right, not social media.
Social media.
That's
because
sort of
everybody puts just all the positive
Right,
things on
yeah.
social media, and you look at that and say, well, what's wrong with me?
Right. And instead of, you know, what's going right in my life, or what is one small change I can make that will be a gift to my future self.
Think of daffodils.
Yes.
Exactly.
Take them out.
Shyla, thank you.
Shyla, great to see you.
Happy spring.
Happy spring. We'll see you next month.
Great.
We'll be right back with the final check your forecast. Well, what's headed our way?
So we are expecting to see just a few shower chances over the next few days, and may even mix with some snow. And of course, that's not a rarity for us to see some snow in April.
It's quite a graphic.
In fact,
what is it?
In fact, in
Charlotte?
April. No,
Looks
that's
like-
for us.
No, but the background.
That's Minneapolis the way it looks.
Oh, I think so.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
All right.
Yeah, sorry, we got you totally off track.
We're back to, they also see snow in April, so it's okay. Trace amounts of snowfall for us 14 times on our record, but we average about 2.3 inches of snow in April, so it's not an anomaly at all to see snow in April. In fact, every year since 1951, we picked up at least something. We're going to hope that we don't repeat 1973, of course, where we saw almost 17.5 inches. Right now, our Doppler track's quiet. We did see some showers earlier today. We may see some more showers coming through just before midnight. It is 44 degrees in Madison currently with sunshine. Sunset is still about 2.5 hours away, so you've got plenty of time to get out and enjoy the sunshine this evening before, of course, that shower chance builds in for us later on. Over the next few hours, we will continue to warm up a little bit, actually. Usually I get to say drop, but because the sun is just now coming up, we'll probably get a little closer to 50 here, closer to about 5:30, 6 o'clock, and then we'll cool down later on today.
And the good thing about snow this time of year, it doesn't last long.
No, it doesn't last long.
It's just
at all.
disheartening.
Yes, it's a little sad to look out the window, but then it's fine.
All right, thank you, Dana.
Thanks, Dana.
Tomorrow here on Live at 4, we'll talk with the winner of the Madison mayoral election about the future of the city.
And our tastemaker checks out the Crescendo Espresso Bar, now with 2 Madison locations. That's coming up tomorrow on Live at 4.